How y'all doing? Let's go. How y'all doing? Yeah, wake up. Let's get the energy right in this room. Right now, across this country, there's athletes training, lifting, preparing for a football season. They're putting in work because they want to make a team. The same way for every single one of us. If you want to own a small business, there's people who have small businesses that they say they want to have a small business. They say they want to put in the work. There's athletes, I want to be in the NFL, I want to do the work. But they're not. They're at home, they're relaxing. The guys who make it are the guys who put in the work and do the things necessary to go to that next level. You're going to go to the next level because you're here. This is your training camp. You're learning. We have 40 government companies and systems here that are going to help us get better. This is a part of that training camp. At the end of the day, we're a community, and we're all working to grow together. So for me, I was able to succeed and advance, not because I played in the NFL. Small business, whether you're in the NFL or in any other platform, it's hard. It takes a lot of work. One of my mentors, he told me, and very successful, when asked, how did he do it? What did he do? He said, I already am. I already am. I wake up in the morning, everything that I want to be, I operate like I already am. I already am. I already have the best manufacturing product in the world. I already have the greatest entertainment company in the world. I already have the most incredible co-working space in the city. You have to have that mentality. I already am. I'm already there. That in itself allows you to start moving towards your greatness. Hebrew Brantley, world-renowned artist, before he ever made any real money in doing art, he said he woke up, he commissioned artwork to himself. He put a plan together for himself. No one's paying him, but he would wake up and he would go and he would draw and he would work like he was already the best. The practice of being great makes one great. The practice of being and being great, working every day like you're already there, makes you great. So for me, 2007, being in the NFL, young guy, I didn't know left from right, up from down, anything. One of my mentors said, Izzy, if you want to have something after football, you've got to start preparing now. To start preparing for life after football would be too late. And that applies to every single one of us. This chapter that you're in right now in your life, the preparation for the next chapter, for the next book of your life, wherever you want to be following this, it starts now. And you being here, that's you showing that you care and that you're ready to put in the work to make that vision for your future, whatever it is that you want it to be. So for me, I said, well, I had this foundation. We were doing work in the community. I looked and did some research and saw that, well, there are a lot of athlete foundations that after the player had retired, the foundation was gone. And in order to really make it, I needed sustainable business to be able to have a sustainable nonprofit organization. So I jumped in. I got involved in a lot of different things, lost a lot of money because I have no business background. I don't know anything about business. I was all throughout my collegiate career, I ran after school programs. I worked with kids. That's really what was my passion and what I did. And one day I walked into the bank, and this gentleman, had an opportunity to buy a failing business, a struggling business that had been successful. I flew in my financial advisors and I flew in everybody. We went to this factory in the middle of nowhere, and there was this machine running, and it was making communion cups that were coming off the edge of the machine perfect. And my advisor said to me, Izzy, do you know anything about manufacturing? I said, no. Do you know anything about pasteurizing juice or thermoformed plastics? I said, no. Do you know anything about business? Do you have a business background? I said, no, I don't. And, against the advice of everyone around me in my network, I saw a vision for the product and for the company. And I said, I think I could do something with this. So I went ahead and I bought the company. Picked it up, moved it down to Chicago, 10,000 square feet, built out a nice little factory. We turned the machine on. The communion cups, just the same way, came out the end. But they were all crushed. And there was grape juice all over the floor and all over the belt. And it was a disaster. 2009, 2 years, I didn't sell a single communion cup to anybody. Just running this business, just, eating resources. And it was challenging. I almost quit. I was just going to wrap it up, sell the business, sell the assets, and move on and do something else. But something inside me was like, you're not gonna quit, stay focused. The vision that we set out to do was to build an incredible company, to build a brand that would allow us to service the community of faith with a great product, but also turn around and support them as an amazing company. So I didn't quit. I went into the office late, and we had tons of boxes that had come with the purchase of the company, and I just started going through the boxes. And there was a client that had provided us and had bought from the old company, millions of units of product. I reached out to them. Hi, I'm Idonije. I now own this company, and they weren't having it. They said, first, the old owner of this business, he owes us, almost $1 million in payments and in product that we paid for that we didn't receive. So I'm like stuttering, I just bought the machine. I did not buy, anything other than just the assets of the company. And we went through that whole process, and, I continued just to work at him and talk to him and try to show him my character and who I was and my vision for what we were gonna do, and that we were the right people to help provide this product to him, and it would be better than a product that he had ever had before. So eventually he sent down 3 of his executives from Nashville that came to Chicago. They came to our factory, they saw the operation, we met, I showed them, hey, this is who I am, this is what I'm about. They saw all the work that we had put in to the machine. I had to rebuild the servo motor, I needed to put in new PLC in, I had to get a new juice formula, because when I bought the company, the juice was going brown after a few months. So I had to get people in who knew juice, and I said, I want my juice to be like Welch's grape juice. So they made a special juice for us that we make on site, we pasteurize every day, and all these things I'm learning on the fly. And there are a lot of things that we will learn on the go as we just go. I mean, there's one thing I've learned is that there's no magical formula to being an entrepreneur or starting a business. The rules are different. The road is different for everyone. But the change and the shift from not selling anything those first 2 years to now being one of the lead manufacturers and distributors of our product in the country was a few things. One, my vision stayed the same. Despite the challenges, stayed focused on the vision, the brand. Then, my team. So I had a bunch of people that came with the company. Then I hired, there was someone in my network who had been working for another company in the city of Chicago. They were ready to transition. I said, you know what, I need you to come work for me. They were like, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll come to your factory, I'll stay there for 1 week. At the end of the week, I'll give you an assessment of what I think. Week went by, I'm actually in training camp. So that was like a weird dynamic, not knowing what's going on. When you're not there, when your eyes aren't on your business every day, no one really is gonna take care of your baby like you're gonna take care of your baby. So I wasn't there, and just things that I wouldn't do as far as just building a culture there were kind of falling through the cracks. She came in, called me when I was in training camp and said, listen, this person, like basically everybody, they gotta go. All my hair fell out. I was just like, what? And one of them was the engineer who'd been with the business since the beginning. So when I looked at him, if anyone's gonna get this machine running, it's this guy. But he had been with the machine so long and been with the company so long, he had a love-hate relationship with the machine. He'd like, something's not right, he'd just kick it, and it'd start working, and he'd be like, yeah, you just gotta sometimes, So, you bring in somebody to give you an evaluation, sometimes you gotta listen. So I just said, you know what? Even though like I'm nervous about it, we're gonna do that. We're gonna let everybody go that didn't fit. And what's incredible is the new engineer that I brought in revolutionized the business. So this new engineer was passionate about his job, finding people that have passion for whatever it is they do. I'm not asking you to do something above and beyond and just left field. Just whatever your niche is, you're passionate about fixing machines. He comes in every day and he fixes something else. He tweaks something else. He makes an adjustment. The other guy didn't do any of that. When I first bought the business, I had a man actually standing at the end of the machine pulling the waste. There's a web that comes off after you cut the cup out. There's a web at the end. I had a manual guy standing there pulling the web with his hands. Walked in one day, and there was just a setup, some sort of contraption on the end, and he had it rigged so it was just winding the web up. Every time the motor would index, he had coded the new end piece to now pull the web at the same sequence, so we eliminated that person. So that was just who this guy was, and he just had a passion for that. So as you build your business and your team, find people that are passionate about whatever it is that they're doing, within your business, that even if you weren't there, even if you weren't watching them, they would still go in and give you high-level production and a high-level product for your brand. So he came in, it was great. The young lady that I brought in to run everything, a powerhouse in sales, she did a phenomenal job. She helped us just continually, the first deal that I cut with that company that was servicing the old client, one, I'm not like a negotiator. I'm just was just kind of figuring it out as I went. And that first contract, I left us no margin as a company. So we were operating, I had just enough to pay all the staff, just enough to buy the product, but we didn't have any ability to grow as a company because we had no markup on the product. So when she came in, she looked at everything and was like, "Are you crazy?" And she, at the next time at the negotiation table, I was just sitting there like, yeah, what she said. So your team is so critical. And you have the vision, you have put a great team together, but in all businesses, in all platforms, what I find is an extreme accelerator for your success is mentorship. So I have this manufacturing company I know nothing about. I was able to get connected with a company called Mullins Foods here. They make all the little McNugget sauces for McDonald's. So I went out, I saw their factory. Amazing. It's a dream operation. No one touches anything. The machines just do every single component, package it, and send it. And they came to my factory, and they came and said, yes, no, 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 get rid of that, no, get this, we have this person that can help you with this. Having a mentor to come in literally accelerated our growth process. We're able to now get compliant in things that we were, I don't know, I'm just kind of figuring it out. So with a mentor, whatever your business platform is, whatever your endeavor is, whatever your idea is, they're able to take you from 0 to 60 very quickly, or at least provide some insight in areas that you're struggling that can put you in a position for your success. That was really the difference with Blessed. Now we're, poised to take the company to another level and go from just communion cups to a major brand, a household brand. And, those lessons I learned from that first company now apply to really everything that we're doing. 2007, I wrote a story called The Protectors. It was the story of the athlete. Athletes, basketball, all these sports, great ability. And I always thought, growing up, I read comic books, I always thought that no one really told the origin story of the athlete. So training camp is about 3 weeks. Over that 3-week period, I said, I'm going to tell the story. Why are they so fast? Why do they have that strength, this ability? And in my story, that gift in sport is truly a byproduct of a greater gift that they were given to save humanity from this dark force on our earth called the dissenters. So I wrote the story, and the plan then was just to write a comic book and just walk out of training camp having created something. On a side note, I truly believe we're all created to create. We all have creative abilities in every single one of us. Who in this room thinks they have an idea that they could do something with? Raise your hand up. And this is exactly what I see anytime I ask that question. We all have something, an idea that, I saw that, but I could adapt it, I could change it, or I could do this better or tweak something. We're all very creative. And that year I just decided I'm going to make a comic book. I've never written a comic book before, but I set on the journey. And at the end of that week, I came out with a book, a concept, talk about mentorship. Through my network, I was able to connect with Ron Mars, who wrote Green Lantern for a bunch of years. And you talk about a network, this is a network here. There are people in this room that can provide you opportunities to accelerate whatever it is that you do. Whatever your idea is, you don't know where to start. Well, there's a lawyer here that knows a bunch of stuff about different platforms and law and how to accelerate that. You'd be surprised how many people start a business and don't trademark the brand, that don't do simple things just to own whatever it is that they're doing. Now we have a comic book that we fully rolled out. We're about to do we've signed a movie deal with a company that produced another major film. But it all just starts with the idea. And until you start, you'll never know what's going to happen. If I never wrote the comic book, we wouldn't be here today. Now, hiring illustrators and writers and different people to create properties. So I urge every single one of you, regardless of where you are in your journey, start. And it doesn't have to be some outlandish, some crazy thing. Just start with the first step. Start with getting some information. Start with just writing something down. I'm like a writer, so whatever it is, write it down. And focus on your vision first. Everything that you'll build starts with your vision for whatever your product, whatever your brand, whatever your platform is. So be clear on what your vision is. When your vision is clear, now you can bring on a team to help support that and find people that understand your vision. If your team doesn't understand your vision, you got to change your team. And then remember, it's not going to be easy. Every single one of us will have challenges in our business. But the ones that make it, it's really about how you handle those challenges. It's about your support system, your network, the programs you're connected to through those that are going to help you make it through those tough times. And then just remember, in all things, after you've made it, after you've been successful, community is about helping one another and supporting one another. Just a quick touch on kind of what my business philosophy is. I focus on, in anything that I'm involved in, I always look to 3 areas. Is the business innovative? So with all the innovation that we've had in our world, there's so much. Everybody raise their hands here. There's something in this world that's going on that your idea, whatever you think, you can innovate it, tweak it, change it to create a whole new platform, something new. Is it global? If it's just in Chicago, great, but think globally. Think whatever you're doing, is it something that anyone in the world, wherever they are, they can benefit from? And that third component that I kind of just touched on, is it community? Does it have the ability to transform lives? And it doesn't have to be directly. It could be, with Blessed, we build our company, we run as a for-profit company, but every year we make sure that we give back to those communities that we serve, whether it's through a mission scholarship or doing something for a church that needs resources. There's always a component of giving back to the community and ultimately to our clients. It's a circular cycle. We create a great product, they believe in it, they buy it, they watch it, they listen to it, they wear it, whatever it might be, and we're then able to grow and do more. So I just urge all of you, I want to thank you for being here. I thank you for being here in your training camp and being one of those pillars in our community, being a small business or being a entrepreneur ready to start a small business in our community. That's really critical to the growth of any economy, of any community. People who are venturing that, I'm ready to take ownership. I'm ready to move to the next level. So I salute all of you for that. Have an incredible expo. We'll be over here at this booth for a little bit. So if you have any questions for me, stop on by, and we'd just love to share with you. I thank you all, and I love you. Thank you so much.